Then Moses sang, and all the sons of Israel, this song to the Lord. And they said, Sing we to the Lord, for he is magnified gloriously. He hath cast down the horse and the horseman into the sea. My strength and my praising is the Lord, and he is made to me into health. This is my God, and I shall glorify him, the God of my father, and I shall enhance or exalt him. The Lord is a man fighter. His name is Almighty. He casted down into the sea the chariots of Pharaoh and his host. His chosen princes were drowned in the Red Sea, or the Sea of Reeds. The deep waters covered them. They went down into the depth as a stone. Lord, thy right hand is magnified in strength. Lord, thy right hand smote the enemy, and in the multitude of thy glory thou hast put down all thine adversaries. Thou sentest thine ire that devoured them as stubble, and waters were gathered in the spirit of thy strong vengeance. Flowing waters stood, deep waters were gathered in the midst of the sea. The enemy said, I shall pursue, and I shall overtake. I shall part spoils. My soul, that is, my will shall be fulfilled. I shall draw out my sword. Mine hand shall slay them. Thy spirit blew, and the sea covered them. They were drowned as lead in great waters. Lord, who is like thee in strong men? Who is like thee? Thou art a great doer in holiness, fearful and praisable, and doing miracles. Thou heldest forth thine hand, and the earth devoured them. Thou wert leader in thy mercy to the people, which thou again broughtest, and thou hast borne him in thy strength to thine holy dwelling place. Peoples went up and were wroth. Sorrows held the dwellers of Philistia. Then the princes of Edom were troubled. Trembling held the strong men of Moab. All the dwellers of Canaan dreaded, or were encumbered. Inward dread fall on them, and outward dread in the greatness of thine arm. Be they made unmovable as a stone, till thy people pass, Lord, till thy people pass, whom thou wieldest. Thou shalt bring them in, and thou shalt plant them in the hill of thine heritage, in the most dreadfast dwelling place, in the most steadfast dwelling place, which thou hast wrought. Lord, Lord, thy sanctuary, which thine hands made steadfast. The Lord shall reign without end, and over all things. Forsooth Pharaoh on horse entered with his chariots and horsemen into the sea, and the Lord brought the waters of the sea on them. Swiftly the sons of Israel went by the dry place in midst of the sea. Therefore Marie the prophetess, the sister of Aaron, took a timpan in her hand, and all the women went out after her with timpans and companies, to which she sang before and said, Sing me to the Lord, for he is magnified gloriously. He hath cast down into the sea the horse and the rider of him. Forsooth Moses took Israel from the Red Sea, and they went out into the desert of Shur. And they went 3 days by the wilderness, and they found not water. And they came into Marah, and they might not drink the waters of Marah, for they were bitter. Wherefore he put it a covetable name to the place, and called it Marah, that is, bitterness. And the people grudged against Moses, and said, What shall we drink? And Moses cried to the Lord, which showed to him a tree. And when he had put that tree into the waters, those were turned into sweetness. Then the Lord ordained commandments and dooms to the people. And there he assayed the people, and said, If thou shalt hear the voice of the Lord thy God, and shalt do that is rightful before him, and shall obey to his commandments, and shall keep all his behests, I shall not bring in on thee all the sickness which I have put in Egypt, for I am the Lord thy Savior. Forsooth the sons of Israel came into Elim, where were 12 wells of water, and 70 palm trees, and they setted tents beside the waters.